welcome back or welcome to my channel. It is Sunshine Lorena and I'm going to be taking you through my chaotic and crazy October TBR. So guys, it's October and if you have been around my channel for the last few years, you'll know when it comes to October, my TBR starts getting a bit crazy because there's so many readathons and I'm like, I need to take part in all of them, and I'm taking part in 4 this time, which is about average for me. I think about 3 to 4 is like the average I do in October. There's just so many good readathons in October, like I cannot take part in them. Now I think I've done well this time, again with like matching prompts across different readathons, so hopefully it's going to be manageable. There is still at least one book that I haven't managed so far to fit on a TBR, but I might make it work for Spookoply because I've only done one roll for this one now, and I'm going to be rolling as the month goes on, so that could still fit in. But anyway, let's just get into it. So the readathons, like I said, Spookoply, I'm only doing one roll now, and then I will do the other ones as I'm doing my weekly vlogs in October. I always weekly vlog in October because I have so many readathons and it just makes sense to do weekly ones. I want to do a minimum of 3 rolls because I have other readathons I'm taking part in. I don't want to go crazy on the rolls, and also if you roll doubles, you know, you have to roll another one, so minimum 3. But if the month is going well, I might do additional rolls. It just depends how it goes on this one. This is for the whole month. I also have Gothtober. It's the first time I'm taking part in this. This is by Becca. I will leave all the links to all the announcement videos so you can get the details of the actual readathons. But yes, first time I'm going to be taking part in Gothtober readathon, and it's like all about like gothic fiction. I will show you me playing that TBR game for that one, and then let you know all my books that I'm doing, and again that is the whole month. Then I'm also taking part in Halloweekend readathon. I took part in it last year as well. The name kind of gives it away. The readathon is the whole month, but it's done on weekends, so Thursday to Sunday, and the last one is like the longest because Halloween is on a Tuesday, I think. So there are 5 weekends because it started early. It's the 30th. It's already started, guys, because I'm really late filming this video, but I'm already started that one. That's fine. So each weekend, and then the last one is Magical Readathon, and that is the 16th to the 22nd of October, and that's been hosted by Rachel Keris. I've taken part in rounds 1 and 2. Round 2 was like a year ago, April time, and then it was like 2 years ago, October, the first round, and that was a monthly one. But this time it's just a week long. It's a bingo card, so it's a little bit easier to try and make that one work. And I feel like that's a long enough intro. So at first I'm going to let you see my roll for Spookoply, so pass me. Go. Okay, so as you saw from that, I got purple on the cover. Now, I do have purple books on my shelves that I could choose from, but I'm trying as much as possible with this TBR to have like spooky-ish vibes, you know, because October. So I have went for a Goosebump book, Werewolf of Fever Swamp by R.L. Stine. Pretty much the last few Octobers, I always managed to get a Goosebump book on my TBR because 1, they're quick. I listen to audiobook on Scrib. The audiobooks are like around 3 hours. I listen to like 2 times speed because, like, you know, I can with those ones. So it's always a really quick read, meaning my second roll for this, it's probably gonna it will happen in my first week's vlog, so go and check that out when it's out so you can see what it is. So very quick synopsis. Something's weird is happening in Fever Swamp, something really horrible. It started with a strange howling at night, then there was the rabbit torn to shreds. Everyone thinks Grady's new dog is responsible. After all, he looks just like a wolf. But Grady knows his dog is a regular old dog, and most dogs don't howl at the moon, or disappear at midnight, or change into terrifying creatures when the moon is full. So that's a synopsis, very quick little synopsis there. I enjoy them, they're fun. They're always at least 3 stars. Like I said, quick to help me get through this massive TBR. So that's it for Spookoply. That's so difficult to say. I will, like I said, be rolling throughout the month, so keep your eyes on my reading vlog. I'm now going to go on to Gothtober, and I'm going to hand over to Pass Me, who played the game since they have a game again. I think they had it last year as well. I didn't take part last year, but to help you get your prompts for your TBR, which I thought was really fun. They're very chill on the TBR. They've given recommendations. You can double, triple, quadruple. If you find one book to fit them all, they're happy with that. So it's a very chill readathon. So yeah, Pass Me. Go play that game. Okay, thank you future me, it's past me. So we're just gonna go ahead and play this game for Gothtober so I can get my TBR prompts. Gothtober creature feature. Yes, okay, start. Where is your lair? Dracula's Castle, the Morgue, Swamp. Even though I didn't really like Dracula when I read it, I'm definitely going Dracula's Castle because, you know, the vibes. What is my head gonna be? Headless, Mothman, Black Lagoon. I think Mothman is interesting and is like more creature feature type thing. Okay, right arm, robot arm, tentacle, werewolf claw. Werewolf claw, because like, you know, in case I need to fight someone, guys, you know, we need to have a good hand. Left arm, okay, webbed fingers, hook hand, ghostly arm. Webbed fingers would not be really useful to me. I'm gonna go hook hand again. If I have to attack someone, it is a good, I feel like it would help. Okay, legs, snake body, body innards, bird feet. This one's hard. I mean, the prompts are going to relate to my choices, so I don't want to do body innards because I feel like it's going to lead me towards body horror and that's not really my thing. I'm going to go bird feet. I may regret that. Okay, my above my head, horns, twig headdress, angel eye mask. Definitely not angel eye mask because that is creepy. I'm going to go with twig headdress. It's a vibe, it's a vibe. Back item, kind of bat wings, demon whip tail. I'm gonna go bat wings, you know, so Dracula's lair. I can fly away, guys. I can fly away if I need to. Okay, so here we go. Let me quickly take a screenshot. Oh, I like this. This sounds really, really good. I think I'm gonna enjoy it. But yes, I'm gonna hand you back now to future me because I would have made the decision of what books I'm gonna be reading for these. And yeah, enjoy the rest of this TBR video. Okay, so you saw now my prompts here that I have. They're pretty good prompts. I have managed to pick and kind of double up and triple up on some of these prompts with the help of those recommendation videos that they've been putting out on this, which is great. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to like bring up the book, tell you which one it is, and then tell you what prompts it ticks off because yeah, quite a few of them tick off a couple, like I said. So the first one I have that I have chosen is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. This is on my 23 and 23 list, so you know, 2 birds or 1 stone, because I'm really still behind on that, so I need to try and pick up these books. But this works perfect for spooky season because it is a horror. This is covering off BIPOC author and urban legend as well. It was in recommendation videos, guys. I'm going with it. And I feel like in the video there was another one that I could tick off, but I already had something for that prompt, so I'm not using it for it, but I can't remember what it was. This does evolve around Final Girls. I'm going to go into the synopsis just a second. But my understanding is, if you've read Final Girls by Stephen Graham Jones, that wasn't that great. I listened to audiobook, I think it was 2 Octobers ago on that TBR, and it wasn't that great. I didn't really like it. But this, I think, is that, but done much better, is from what I understand. And plus there was a sequel that came out this year, I think, for this one, and that is on Scribd. So if there's time, guys, maybe it comes up in one of my roles for this. We'll have to wait and see. So, some girls just don't know how to die. Jade Daniels is an outcast, half Indian, with an abusive father and absent mother in Prufrock, a town that wants nothing to do with her. Now 1 class away from dropping out of school, she's pouring her life and soul into her last assignment, a personal history of horror films. But Prufrock doesn't rest easy. Blood spills in the lake and violent stories refuse to stay buried. Jade's encyclopedic knowledge of horror cinema begins to make sense of everything happening in the rapidly gentrifying rural lake town. And with the arrival of the final girl, Letha Mordragon, she's convinced an irreversible sequence of events has been set into motion. As Jade dives deep into the history of her hometown, the missing tourists, the drowned church in Indian Lake, the tragic deaths at camps years ago, the town strives to keep her trapped, but outcasts still laugh and fight and cry and love fiercely. And even as the terror descends, blood flows, they never ever give up. It is super intriguing. I've heard good things about this. I'm really looking forward to this one, and it's been on my shelves for a while and I really want to get to it. So I'm really looking forward to this, and thank you, Charlotte, for giving this to me. She gave it for me Christmas. Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember, but thanks. This is really helping my TBR. Then the next book on my Gothtober TBR is The Grimrose Girls by Laura Fall. Again, got this from the recommendation video. This was not on my radar at all, but when I tell you the synopsis, you'll see why. It's such a great synopsis, and it ticks off, I'm gonna check on my computer here, it ticks off disability rep, LGBTQ rep as well, and fairy tale retelling. So it is ticking off 3 prompts, which is fantastic. I'm getting this from Scribd. Also have a link for Scribd if you ever want to sign up and get 2 months free. I get a month free, I think. But it's on Scribd as an audiobook and an ebook. I think I'm gonna go audiobook because I have a lot of books in my TBR and it's kind of good to use an audiobook when I can, and hopefully this is a good audiobook. But this is like a YA fantasy, YA mystery thrillers is what it says here on Scribd. So this is following 4 friends, there's one murder and a dark fate that may leave them all doomed. After the mysterious death of their best friend, Ella, Yuki and Rory are at the talk of their elite school, Grimrose Academy. Police ruled Ariane's death as a suicide, but the trio is determined to find out what really happened. When Nanny Izais arrives as their newest roommate, it sets into motion a series of events that no one could have predicted. As the girls retrace their friends' final days, they discover a dark secret about Grimrose. Ariane wasn't the first dead girl. They soon learn that all the past murders are connected to ancient fairy tale curses, and that their own fates are tied to the stories, dooming the girls to brutal and gruesome endings unless they can break this cycle for good. Sounds amazing, and that's where kind of the fairy tale telling obviously is coming from, this like link to the fairy tales. It sounds to me a bit dark, a bit mysterious, thriller vibes, so I am thinking this is perfect for October. Okay, the next book that is on my Gothtober TBR is Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. I wanted to watch this film years ago, but I don't think I've ever actually managed to watch Howl's Moving Castle, but I really want to, so I need to try and find it and watch it once I've read this. This one, first of all, ticks off Sentient House, and that's the only one that I'm actually tick off on Gothtober. I'm going to be listening to the audiobook from Scribd on this one. It is like 9 hours, which is not too bad. If I listen a bit fast, I should get through this one quick-ish. So apparently it was released as an unabridged audiobook for the first time in 2019. Interesting fact that I've just found out. So in the land of Ingray, where 7-league boots and invisibility cloaks exist, young Sophie Hatter catches the unwelcome attention of the Witch of the Waste and is put under spell. Deciding she has nothing more to lose, Sophie makes her way to the moving castle that hovers on the hills above her town, Market Chipping. But the castle belongs to the dreaded wizard Howl, whose appetite they say is satisfied only by the soul of young girls. There Sophie meets Michael, Howl's apprentice, and Calcifer, the fire demon, with whom she agrees a pact. Her entanglement with Calcifer, Howl and Michael, and her quest to break her curse come alive when Diane Wynne Jones' unique contribution of magic, humour and imagination. It sounds really interesting. Like, there is obviously some magic elements to this one. I think it's going to be really good. Next book I have on this TBR is Clowns vs Spiders by Jeff Strand, and this is a Kindle Unlimited book, so making use of that subscription I have. There will be some more Kindle Unlimited books popping up on this, guys. So this one is covering off insects, and this is the only one it covers off on this TBR for October. It is like 250-ish pages, which is fantastic, so it's a nice short one. This is how I managed to read so much in October, because I go for audiobooks and short books, guys. It's the way to go. So this is obviously a horror book. It says horror, comedy, parodies, satires, so it's not like scary horror is what I get from this. But in this one, Jaunty the Clown just wants to entertain families with light-hearted slapstick antics. But people think of clowns as terrifying, nightmarish creatures who hide in closets or under beds. When Jaunty, along with his fellow performers, Guaf, Wagon, Reynald the Pleasant Clown, and Bluehead are fired from the circus, they're told that the world just doesn't like clowns anymore. Still, clowns have to eat, and since these clowns don't eat children to make ends meet, they're eventually forced to take jobs in a popular haunted attraction, the Mountain of Terror. Instead of charming entertainers, they're now scary clowns, a zombie clown, a demon clown, a creepy doll clown. But the town is about to discover something more frightening than clowns, because on opening night, millions of oversized spiders emerge from a cave and begin their deadly invasion. So super creepy. I mean, that cover just gives creepiness. I'm not a huge fan of spiders, so we're going to see how well I deal with this one. Hopefully it's not too scary in the spider front. But the fact that it's like horror comedy, I'm hoping that it's like not that scary, but I think it'll be good. It's a good, you know, giving good vibes for October. Then the next book I have on this is not spooky season vibes at all. And if you have recommendations for this prompt that are like more spooky season vibes, please let me know, because I can switch this one out. But it's the only one that I own on my shelves. I'm like, I really should get to this. It does fit the prompt. But if you have a spooky season one, let me know and I'll see, I might switch it. So this is the fake dating prompt, and that is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This was actually my like summer TBR video. If you watched it, I did terrible at that TBR, guys. So I really should read this because I did say that I was going to read it. I mean, I say that about all these books, but you know. So this one, I'm not gonna, it's a romance obviously. So in this one, there is obviously a couple getting married. One of our main characters is the maid of honor, the other one is the best man, and they do not get on at all. They hate each other. But at the wedding, for some reason, every single person gets like food poisoning, and there's a honeymoon, obviously paid for, ready to go, and the maid of honor and the best man, who hate each other, the only two that don't get sick. So they end up taking said honeymoon, because who doesn't want to have a free vacation in like paradise? I can't remember where it is. So they have to go together, they hate each other, but they end up getting in some sort of situation where the maid of honor's boss is there and gets like the wrong idea, and there's some sort of fake dating situation that happens. That's all I know. That's probably a terrible way to sum up this book, but that's what I remember of the synopsis. And yeah, it sounds really good. Like, I think I'm gonna enjoy it when I read it. It's just that, yeah, if you have any other books that cover off fake dating that give spooky season vibes, just let me know, because like I said, I will switch this out. And then the next one on the prompt is Asian mythology. Again, like, I don't know, this isn't giving very much spooky season vibes, so if you do have one that gives spooky season vibes, let me know if it fits this prompt, because obviously with it being Asian mythology, it's mostly fantasy. It was only really fantasy that I could find that works with this, and I did have the perfect fantasy to pick up for this one. But like I said, I mean, I should read this. It's a 23 and 23, and that is A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Eileen, and I do have the second one as an ARC, so honestly, I should probably just stick to this one. Love this cover, love the colours, guys. So our main character, she lost her mother, and it is her fault as she brewed the poison tea that killed her. I obviously don't think she intentionally poisoned her mother, but she just happened to brew the tea that killed her. In this like book, the magic is around tea magic, but that same poison that killed her mother now threatens her sister. But there is some sort of like competition that she hears of that is taking place to find like the master of like this tea magic. Essentially, I am summing this up really badly, but the master of the tea magic, and whoever the winner is will receive a favor from the princess, which she wants to use to save her sister's life. Obviously it's a little bit more of that going on. She has to try and win this competition. There's some backstabbing, there is bloody court politics, and a mysterious and handsome boy with a shocking secret. So her life might be the one that's more in danger. It sounds really good, it sounds really intriguing. I think it's going to be really good. Like I said, it's a duology. I have the second one as an ARC on my Kindle that came out in January, so I really should read that. So I will get to this one, and I think it'll be nice to kind of break up a little bit with the other kind of, you know, spooky vibes that I have going on my TBR. And plus, it involves magic, October, Halloween. It does go, guys. So the last prompt that I'm going to cover off for my Gothtober TBR is Forest Creature, and I have chosen It Waits in the Woods, which is from the Creature Feature collection, which just came out on Kindle Unlimited like a couple of days ago. They're short stories, guys. There's another one that will be featuring on this TBR later on, and this one's by Josh Mallerman. So it's by different famous horror authors, and they've done like this short story collection. It Waits in the Woods. Obviously, this one is involving the woods. There is a creature in the woods, so forest creature, guys. And it's only 52 pages, so I really am taking this for the win. I think it's going to be fun. It's on Kindle Limited, which, like I said, I'm trying to keep going with my subscription, make it worthwhile, so it makes sense to pick this one up. And also, I just saw here, it does mention Urban Legend calls her into the woods, so this could also have covered off Urban Legend, which My Heart and the Chainsaw is covering off, but like, you know, it's good to have another book that covers off additional books. Prompts. Oh, so the dense Michigan forest haunting Wales, the clip-clop of demon hooves on the bridge to nowhere. It's more than a tall tale to Brendan Jennings, whose sister disappeared in those woods one fateful night. 3 years later, on a solo stakeout in the dark, Brenda goes in after her. She's desperate for answers and terrified to find what lies waiting on the other side of that bridge. It sounds super scary, creepy, 52 pages, perfect. Okay, so now let's move on to my Halloweekend readathon TBR. So with this one, very briefly, you can watch the announcement video, I'll link it below. But like I said, it's across each weekend. There is actually a book prompt, like a reading prompt, a photo prompt and an activity prompt to do each weekend. So you're not able to double up books because it's just for that weekend. There are some additional reading prompts, but I am not pushing myself that much, guys, because, you know, I have a lot going on this TBR already and I have things to do in October. So we're just sticking with the main ones here. The first prompt on the list, I don't know what order I'm doing these in. Well, I know my first one, but I don't know what order I will do these in general. But the first prompt on the list is match host thumbnail. So I've chosen the thumbnail by Slime and Slashers here, and I've chosen The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. And the book on script, the cover, which is on the screen, why don't I show my phone? But as you can see, it's given the same vibes. Okay guys, it's given the same vibes of this thumbnail. I made it work. Also because, again, this is short. I didn't realize how short this was. This is a classic in that like horror gothic genre. Audiobook is just under 3 hours, so you know we love a short audiobook. And considering weekends I tend to be busy, I'm trying to keep these books a little bit shorter, on the shorter side. So I don't think I really need to go into the synopsis of this one. You probably know, you know, of this, so I'm not going to go into that, but made this one work quite well. Then the next prompt on the list is anticipated thriller, horror, or mystery. I went with anticipated thriller that I want to read, so it's not necessarily anticipated like release or anything. It's just one that you're really anticipating to read, and I've chosen The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Of course, this is like such a big thriller book. I love thrillers. I want to read it. And again, whilst I have Kindle Unlimited, this is the perfect time to pick it up. And there is a second one that I knew about, but sorry, I was just pulling up the synopsis on Amazon, but it says book 1 of 3. So there's a third one coming out, which I had no idea until this video. The Housemaid is watching, an absolute gripping psychological thriller packed with twists. Cover is still to be revealed. June 2024. So that, like, I'm getting super excited, but that's like ages away, guys. So I have time to read book 1 and 2. Fantastic. And I might not even like it, so I don't know why I'm so excited for a release that I have no idea if I'm gonna like it. But anyway, guys, I am so all over the place in this video. Synopsis. Every day I clean the Winchesters' beautiful house top to bottom. I collect their daughter from school and I cook a delicious meal for the whole family before heading up to eat alone in my tiny room on the top floor. I try to ignore how Nina makes a mess just to watch me clean it up, how she tells strange lies about her own daughter, and how her husband Andrew seems more broken every day. But as I look into Andrew's handsome brown eyes, so full of pain, it's hard not to imagine what it would be like to live Nina's life. The walk-in closet, the fancy car, the perfect husband. I only try on one of Nina's pristine white dresses once, just to see what it's like, but she soon finds out, and by the time I realise my attic bedroom door only locks from the outside, it's too late. But I reassure myself the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. It's a huge book talk thriller. I'm super excited, anticipating to read this one. Then the next one on here is scares you, so read a book that scares you. And I have went for Ankle Snatcher by Grady Hendrix. This is another of those books and that creature feature on Kindle Unlimited. I've just noticed this actually also has the audiobook for this one. I don't know if the other one did because I didn't pay attention. I sometimes don't pay attention to these things, but I could listen to this as audio rather than read the full book, but it's only 29 pages, so we'll see how it goes. Again, horror short story. I chose this one because Ankle Snatcher, this is involving a creature like under the bed, like it's scary vibes, and like the unknown is really scary, like not knowing where something is. So synopsis. Obey the rules. So Marcus grew up believing his father killed his mother, then blamed it on the boogeyman under the bed. Always leave the lights on, his father warned, or the boogeyman will get you. Marcus still heeds that superstition, especially when he invites his new girlfriend over. Is Marcus haunted by a creature, or has he just inherited his father's murderous delusions? The night will tell. So like, you know, it's that unknown, like what is it? I find that scary, not knowing what something is, so that's why I chose this one. Another Kindle Unlimited, super short one, and that is the first one I'm picking up. That'll be the first one that's in my vlog when it comes out for week 1, guys. Slight spoilers, not read it yet. Then Match a Monster. So I played the little game that they had to do that. I'll have the footage here. And as you can see, guys, my timer might be completely off. As you can see, I got Clown. So Clowns versus Spiders, guys, is the one I'm using for this prompt. So we are doubling up across a readathon for the first time. You know, we have got to find those quick wins, guys. So there's that. Then the last prompt that's on the list for Halloweekend is host's favourite subgenre. So we put a list out of each host's favourite subgenres. I have went for Final Girl, which is Katrina Brown's one of her her favourite subgenres, and obviously My Heart is a Chainsaw, guys, read the synopsis to you, involves final girls. So, whoa, the second one that we're matching across readathons. So I just have one last readathon to take you guys through, and that is Magical Hopathon. This is running for a week, and I have like 2 actual books to read for this one in that week, so that's what I'll be focusing. It's starting the 16th to 22nd, I think. So it's gonna be busy. So it's a bingo board. You have to just do like one line, but not diagonal. So this was the last TBR that I planned. Obviously, I don't know what's going on with Spookoply until I do those other roles. But this is the last one that I planned because I got the other ones and I was like, I'm going to try and use books from these 2 to work with this one as well if I can. And I did a little bit. So on the line that I'm chosen, I have the 60s. Read a book that you can't stop thinking about. Now this is a new book, guys. This is the new book. But this is, and that is The Minders by John Mars. But this does cover off another prompt because you're allowed to double up within this line, and that is the 2020s Read a TBR Vet. So this has been on my shelves for a couple of years now. I'm counting as a TBR vet, so it's not like the oldest book on my shelves because there's some like really old books on there. But it is an old book. It's been around for a few years. I've been meaning to get to this one for ages. This is one of the John Mars thrillers that gives Black Mirror vibes. So yeah, I've been wanting, can't stop thinking about it, want to read it. It's also my 2020, 23 and 23. So, it's been on my mind a lot, this book, okay guys? So that's why I'm using it for those 2 prompts. So information is king, but computers can be hacked and files can be broken into, so a unique government initiative has been born. 500 people have been selected to become Minders, the latest attempt to thwart cyber terrorism. Transformed by a revolutionary medical procedure, the country's most classified information has been taken offline, turned into genetic code and implanted inside their heads. Together, the 5 know every secret, the truth behind every government lie, conspiracy theory and cover-up. In return, they're given the chance to leave their problems behind and a blank slate to start their lives anew. But not everyone should be trusted, especially when they have secrets of their own they'll do anything to protect. This sounds so good. Black Mirror thriller. Like I really want to read this, guys. I'm glad that I'm getting this on the TBR, and at least I've got another 23 and 23 on my October TBR to help me not fail, which I feel like I'm going to fail that list this year, guys. We'll have to wait and see, but looking forward to that one. On my line, there's also watch a Disney film, which I'm thinking maybe Hocus Pocus, because I haven't watched it in ages, and I have Disney Plus. I got like the little deal that I have like $1.99 for 3 months. Or it could be Hocus Pocus 2 or The Haunted Mansion, but I'm gonna go for one of these like spooky ones for this one. It could be Nightmare Before Christmas. So I'm just naming all like the spooky Disney films, but it'll be one of those ones. And then the last reading prompt that to cover off on my line is the one for the 30s. Read a book that has won an award, and I managed to make this fit one of my previous books, and that is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones, and he won the Bram Stoker Award in 2021 for this. So guys, I did it. So yeah, I mean, this isn't, so that's it. That's the last book. So glad I didn't have to do more synopsises at this point. We'll see about this one. But yes, that's it. That's all the books. I think I've done really well this time. Like 1 year I had like 19 books I think on my TBR, and I feel like this is about 12 or 13 currently. Oh, I have one book more to cover off, guys, that I said, and that is The Last House on Needless Street, and right now the author's name has escaped my mind, but whilst I look that up, this is for Chloe Reads Books Crime Scene Corners book club and book pick for October. It is like, I think it's really good vibes for October, so I am gonna try and hopefully fit this into my TBR. I couldn't work out on the prompts that I have where to put this one, but it might come more apparent as I pick it up, or it could be my next role. So that first book for this needs to be read quite quickly so I can maybe figure out for this one. So the author's name is Katrina Ward. I don't know why I didn't remember, but this is like a horror thriller type book, and it's the story of a murderer, a stolen child, revenge. The story of Ted, who lives with his young daughter Lauren and his cat Olivia in an ordinary house at the end of an ordinary street. All these things are true, and yet some of them are lies. An unspeakable secret binds the family together, and when a new neighbour moves in next door, the truth may destroy them all, because there's something buried in the dark forest at the end of Needless Street, but it's not what you think. Yes, I've been wanting to read this for absolute ages, and I'm just starting to think, oh, but that means I would have to get rid of the minders. So I'm just thinking about read a book you can't stop thinking of, because I've been wanting to read this. I could maybe make it work for that, but I really want to read the minders. We'll see how this works out. But anyway, there's that, and I think it's like around about the 9th the buddy read dates for that one start, so we'll see if I can make this work with another prompt. And another book I would really like to read, and I can't bother reaching over to get it, is It. I tried this 2 Octobers ago, and I was trying to do a completely separate vlog and doing that for the weekly vlogs, and it was a lot. So I know that would have made sense for the clown one, but like to read it in like a weekend, like 4 days, is terrifying. I also have the audiobook, but I was like, oh, that's really tight to try and make it work for Halloweekend readathon. And I know they said that you could go into the week if you wanted to, but it's a terrifying book to try and get in there, but we'll see. That's it, guys. So like I said, for the ones that I've mentioned, please let me know if you have other books to recommend that are more spooky. This is a super long video. I'm gonna stop speaking. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit subscribe if you do not want to miss the reading vlogs of me attempting to read all of this, or the wrap up that will eventually come for the end of the month of October. And I will hopefully see you in my next video. Happy reading. Bye, guys.